What's up, everybody, and welcome to Comics Icons. Now, JJ, what they call me, and today we're gonna be breaking down one of Marvel's more iconic stories, Devil's Reign. Now, this story is a little bit older, from 2021 through 2022, and it's been covered previously by other YouTubers in this comic space. But with the MCU seemingly adapting parts of this story in the upcoming Echo and Daredevil series, as well as its importance to the current gang war event in the comics that we've been going over, I figure it'll be a good time to get familiarized if you ain't up on this dope story, or get reacquainted if you heard it before and you just want to hear it with that JJ flair. Now, during Devil's Reign, there were many tie-in issues, but for now, we're just gonna stick with the 6-part main story and the Omega finale, starting with this issue number 1. Now, before we begin this series, some things you need to know going in are: 1, Wilson Fisk previously became mayor of New York, and you can find that back in Daredevil number 595. You also need to know that back in the Daredevil Born Again series back in 1986, Kingpin learned the identity of Daredevil thanks to Matt Murdock's ex, Karen Page. Then, in 2014, the public learned of his identity when he was forced to reveal it in court after being blackmailed. And then Daredevil number 20 back in 2015, the children of the Purple Man, who had his powers of persuasion and suggestion, make the whole world forget his identity. So now that we got all that out of the way, let's get it. So when issue number 1 picks up, we see a yacht in the Mediterranean Sea, and it's 2 weeks prior. And on this yacht, we see an older rich man and woman who are actually brother and sister, named Quinn and Una Stromwin. And these two are approached by one of their workers, telling them that the Political Futures group is going to be calling soon. We didn't get a very important and interesting conversation between these two, as the sister asks her brother, "I suppose we'll be talking about the upcoming New York election, brother?" Among other things, he replies. Then he says, "What do you think, Una? We put Mr. Fisk in the mayor's seat to make life interesting, and he has certainly done that. He murdered a friend of ours, scuttled our Hell's Kitchen plans." But then his sister interrupts, "Quinn, please. Tyrone was hardly a friend, but it's fun, isn't it? His unpredictability, like a bull in a china shop that we keep setting back up for him." As Quinn then rebuts, "Because we own all the china in the world. So shall we crown him again? Keep the game moving? Or is there a more interesting game to play?" Then we move forward to 1 week ago in New York City, and we see Daredevil, who thinks to himself, "How did it begin? My hatred of this man. There are so many things to hate, really. His piousness, his outdated sense of morality. But the thing I always come back to is his hypocrisy. He looks down our baser natures as he grins in a fist fight." We didn't get the reveal that it's Mayor Fisk that he's thinking about, who approaches Daredevil in the middle of a blocked off street surrounded by NYPD's finest, as Daredevil tells him, "Carting off a street in Hell's Kitchen? You clearly wanted my attention. Shouldn't you be at home with your new bride?" And the bride that he's talking about, of course, is Typhoid Mary. She and Fisk tied the knot back in Daredevil number 36. But Fisk then drops a folder at the feet of Daredevil, who then says to Fisk, "I don't have time for whatever this is, and I didn't bring my reading glasses." Fisk then responds, "Then I'll tell you what that is, Daredevil. It's nothing, but it should be something. It's a folder from my private safe, which I dimly remember putting together. Remember maintaining, labeled Daredevil's identity, and the pages inside are either blank or meaningless, like a sick joke, like someone switched them out from my most secure and secret place. Except they didn't, did they? Did they? I can feel it. You did something to my mind. Who are you?" Daredevil replies, while he's swinging off. Sorry, Wilson, but it's called a secret identity. And Fisk thinks to himself, you are the devil, and I'll tear down everything to destroy you. Because nobody knows you like I do. Nobody else knows your true Achilles heel. Your guilt. Then we transition to now, and Mayor Fisk is having a press conference outside of City Hall. New York City is known for its resilience. We have suffered wave after wave of attacks of destruction brought down on our great city. And at the heart of almost every one of those are superheroes. The reign of dark aliens. I have learned that Spider-Man originally infected our planet with one of them. The hordes of trolls and ice-strewn beasts that destroyed our homes. That's because we welcomed Thor, the god of thunder, into our world. There's a saying, follow the money. With these tragedies instead, follow the destruction. And you'll find it leads back to these heroes. We allow these unnatural monsters in capes and bright colors free reign, and a city of good people trying to live their lives. And when we dare hold them accountable for their crimes, like the murderer Daredevil, they get preferential treatment, a slap on the wrist. And then they're free to go do what they've always done, whatever they want. Terrorizing, violence, destruction. Well, no longer. We here in New York City feel that isn't enough. Over the last few weeks, I've been working with lawmakers to draft the Powers Act. Recently, our friends at the federal level wisely outlawed unsanctioned superhero activity for those under 21 years of age. To those of you out there with such abilities, I say this to you. Effective immediately, any individual who exhibits a use of powers deemed superhuman or commits acts of destructive vigilantism will be charged as a threat. You are not better than us, not better than the hardworking people of this city, not better than the fine men and women who fight our fires, who police our streets, who mend our sick. You wish to help society? Be a part of it, not above it. As Fisk walks away, the reporters chime in, Mayor Fisk, will there be exceptions to this law? And Fisk's spokesman chimes in, the mayor will be taking questions later. For now, I'll talk you through what's been relayed to the NYPD. Then Mary says to Fisk, Wilson, are you sure this is a good idea? I don't mind a good fight, but they're gonna come for you. Mary, my dear, let them. Then we get all over the world news reports popping up. The Powers Act. One reporter says the news out of City Hall, a superhero ban. Will the rest of the country follow suit? No comment so far from the office of the president, but we're expecting. Then we see Tony Stark, an Avenger. Down this road before, superheroes serve a purpose and have saved not only New Yorkers but the world many times over. This is a desperate move from a gangster mayor in an election year. Then we see a new unit being formed called Thunderbolts Units, specialized officers for handling superhuman threats. Commissioner Kyle says that there are avenues for powered individuals, including opportunities in one of these units. Let me get random people on the street. No, they save people, but the mayor has a point about all the attacks. And Daredevil murdered a man. And what? He's allowed to go around beating people up still? And we see international responses flooding it. As Storm says, Krakoa has no interest in human laws. All mutants will have diplomatic immunity as per our international agreement. So it would be in the mayor's best interest to leave us be. And we see arrests start as the officers start attacking Moon Knight. First wave of arrests as powered individuals ignore the new laws. The question everyone's asking now is, will this lead to a peaceful understanding as arrests start to begin? Or a power-fueled escalation? And we see Moon Knight putting a whooping on some of these officers. And someone yells out, Moon Knight, aka Mark Spector, aka probably a bunch of BS names, you're under arrest. As we see the Thunderbolts team of villains approaching. You want me? Replies Moon Knight. Come and get me. Then we see another scene. It's gonna be all right. Just hold on. As Ben Reilly's Spider-Man is saving a little girl from a burning building. Here he comes, says one of the firemen. I think that's the last of them there. Son, you're a godsend. I'd say you should check in with one of the medics for your smoke inhalation, but you better go now. As they look and see a bunch of officers waiting to arrest him. Jeez, way to make a guy feel wanted. Don't even think about it. And they tase Ben Reilly. Officer? We hear another voice. It's Captain America Steve Rogers comes out of that same building, holding a girl that he saved. Step away from the young man. Now. You're under arrest too, Captain, in accordance with the Powers Act. I know you're just doing your job, but he just saved lives. He's a criminal. You're all criminals. If a law needs to be broken in order to save lives, I'll do it every time. You may as well arrest us for breaking and entering this burning building instead of using powers. Don't. They try to pull off Ben Reilly's mask. My family, you can't. And that's when Captain America commences the beatdown. He throws his shield. Don't. Knocking a couple guards off of Ben Reilly. He punches the visor off another one. Spider-Man, you up for this? Cuffs blocking my powers. Well, it's a good thing we're here. As the cavalry comes in, Spider-Man and Matt Murdock, Daredevil, as well as Electra Nachos, Daredevil. To even the odds, says Daredevil. Call it in. And we've got company. Now we see the cavalry is coming in for the lawmakers as the helicopters start coming in. And then Daredevil says, I hear more at the street level coming too. We need to retreat. Electra chimes in. So they hop down a sewer. Done and done. Daredevil tells him 100 meters straight ahead, first left. There's a door on the right to a utility room. We can lay low there unless I pick up any activity. On it. Man, it's crazy out there. I knew Fisk's marriage was going to be bad, but this is wild. What set him off? Says Spider-Man as Daredevil then chimes in. I did. This is my fault. Then Electra tries to calm him down. It's not. Don't be a fool. Now everybody's asking. They're looking at Daredevil. How did you set him off? How did this happen? And Daredevil's like, my identity, like yours, is a secret. But it wasn't always that way. The world knew who I was. And even though I didn't ask them to, Zebediah Kilgrave's children made the world forget. Wait, Zebediah? The Purple Man? You mean his kids can mind control people too? They can. And Fisk knows something is wrong with his mind, and that is my fault. I taunted him when he confronted me. I could just tell him who I am and maybe this will all stop. And that's when Captain America chimes in like, look, man, can't do that. It's not gonna stop anything. He's just gonna use it to his advantage, but it won't change a thing. We knew if Fisk empowered something like this was gonna happen. He didn't push this law through for the good of the city. It's all about a vendetta for him, Captain America says. He's risking the lives of the people we're sworn to protect. I wouldn't dare speak for the rest of you, but I won't let a tyrant stop me from saving lives. Don't give in to him, Daredevil. Not now, not ever, because once you do, he'll take it all. Then we go over to the Baxter building and we see Reed and Susan as a group approaches them. Who the hell do you think you are? Susan jumps in, and that's when the group tells them, hey, look, I told you, Miss Richards, we were Homeland Security, and we're aided by the NYPD, and we got reason to believe the Baxter building is harboring weapons of mass destruction, and we've secured the premises to investigate and secure anything we find. Then as Reed is talking, and he's trying to explain, I have an agreement with the government to work unobstructed in exchange for our service. We see some tentacles attach a collar to them. What the hell? Power dampeners. A necessity for those such as yourself who are prone to lashing out. And we see that it's Otto Octavius, Doc Ock. He's also a Thunderbolts team member. Octavius, so you've thrown in with Fisk? Never took you for a subordinate, Otto. To my own end, Richards, I recently received some very interesting information on what you have cooking in that lab of yours. The government was happy to look the other way for your agreement, but now that I've shown them what you have, well, they have no choice. So you're all coming with me. Then Susan decides to try to fight back. Like hell we are. Subdue her. And she runs and she hits a button and calls out, Ben, Johnny. Then we see Ben Grimm and Johnny Storm in another room with the kids. Code X7, code X7, hurry. What, X7, for real? Oh, nuts, that's bad. Uncle Ben, what are you? Calling a cab, kid, stay close. Whoa, who are? Turn around, hands where we can see them. And that's when we see the officers bust in the room with Ben and the kids. And then they start opening fire. Ben Grimm quickly grabs the kids to protect them and then punches the officer. Shooting at kids? You're lucky I got responsibilities and don't stick around to clobber you some more. Then he grabs the kids and heads for the window. Hang on, gang. And jumps out the window and lands on the ride that he called. Our ride's here. Now what? Well, if this is a for real Codex 7, we gotta get Alicia and the Rugrats. And they fly off into the sunset. Then we get another scene with Luke Cage and Jessica Jones and their kid. Things are gonna get rough. As Jessica asks Luke more arrests, while Luke's looking at his phone. Yeah, looks like Moon Knight. It's getting real. Should we even be out, Jess? No offense to the other guys, Jessica says, but this is why we don't wear costumes, right? We can talk about laying low out of the city for a while if you... Wait, what's... Skaboom! And we see an explosion go off and Luke jumps in to help as a truck overturns and someone's stuck in the car under the truck. As Luke runs into action, Jessica calls his name. Luke, it's gonna be okay. Just give me 1 second. I'll get you out of there. Don't worry. Thanks for the assist. And Luke and Jessica help to save the guy that's trapped under there. Then we see the shocker come out. But the Thunderbolts got it under control. Now do me another favor and put these on. As he hands Luke some power dampening cuffs. Go screw yourself, Shocker. And Luke crushes the cuffs. Alright, the hard way then. And he immediately attacks Luke, even with all of the innocent bystanders standing there watching. What the hell are you doing? People are getting hurt. And go call the cops. Oh wait, I am the... And Luke crushes the Shocker gloves. This doesn't have to be difficult, one of the officers says to Jessica. And then she punches him into a nearby truck. Sure. Now Shocker's begging Luke Cage not to hurt him, please. And Luke Cage says, you got a badge now, Shocker. Congrats. You just graduated from trash to official trash. And he gives him a beat down. And now people are recording. They're all standing around watching everything that they just saw go down. And Luke Cage says, this isn't right. As he's talking to the crowd of people who are surrounding him, who now have their cell phones out recording this whole incident. This isn't right. Wilson Fisk is a gangster and a fool. A big man who's small, who needs to show his power over me, my friends, and you. This isn't just about superheroes. It's about a man with his grip on all of us. He makes it sound like if he loses it, he'll just get in trouble. The kind of trouble that shows him that it's exactly you who has the power. Look, I'm not Captain America. I'm not Mr. Fantastic. I'm just a New Yorker like you. And if someone's in trouble, I do what New Yorkers do. I help. If Mayor Fisk wants to stop me, he can come and try. And we see Mayor Fisk go to visit one of his sons, his illegitimate son, named Butch. And he tells him, hey, you're the kingpin now, Butch. An assistant shouldn't call you by your first name. There needs to be distance so you can... What do you want, Wilson? As Butch speaks up. He ain't got time for all of this. I suppose I want to talk. I've set things in motion and I wanted you to know that I'm doing it for the city. And I'm doing it for you. Being the kingpin is hard. Eliminating superheroes will make life easier for you so you can hold on to what you've earned for you and those you love. As Fisk grabs a picture on Butch's desk. Put that down. Of course. I'm not here to cause distress. You're a fool, Butch says to Fisk. Superheroes? Really? What? Am I pointing space lasers at the planet? Trying to mind control the population? You're as garish and outdated as they are. I'm not you, Wilson. I'm not here to be goaded into trading punches with Spider-Man. You're a joke. You can't help but poke the bears. And they'll eat you. They will. And I'll still run this town. Now get the hell out. I've got real meetings to take. As Fisk tells him, this will help you. I don't need you to see that right now. The coming months will do that. Be well, son. And he leaves. Then we get Butch's buddy Mike Murdoch, who was in there hiding out. And now he comes in. Holy sh! I can't believe your dad didn't murder you, man. Then Butch tells him he used everything he had to bring back his other son, Richard. I figured he'd at least leave me alive. Like, look, I'm still not cool with what you did to your predecessor. We had a rule, Butchie, no killing. But you really did it, man. Worked your way up from being the Owl's flunky to the kingpin of crime. Couldn't have done it without you, Matt Murdock. Looking like my ex-DA brother definitely comes in handy sometimes. And this is Matt Murdock's twin brother. And hey, not for nothing, I don't think your absentee father is wrong. Getting rid of those powered guys will make our lives easier. Yeah, we just need to make sure Fisk wins this election. Because if he doesn't have that, he may come for his old job. Well, so far, he's like you and me, pal. Running unopposed. Then we see at Luke and Jessica's apartment, Jessica's arguing with Luke as he's packing bags now. Stupid. You had to make it a thing with a freaking speech. I can't believe the cops aren't here already. I'm not sorry, Jess. People needed to hear it. I know. Let's just get out of this town with Danny and figure out our next steps. Then we gotta stop him. As they look, and it's Tony Stark trying to be incognito, even though he's in a Lambo and a red hoodie that looks just like Iron Man. Tony, what the hell are you doing here, man? If you're lying low, maybe you should have picked a different car, dude, said Jessica to him. We've got to take down Fisk. Sure, but how? I don't know about you, but I'm not too keen on overthrowing democracy, which means we have to do it legitimately, the old-fashioned way, with a ton of money and a candidate. I'm going to run for mayor. It's perfect. Then we get Otto Octavius in the Baxter building, and he's on the phone talking with Fisk. Richard's lab, it's everything I could have hoped for, Wilson. I'm glad, Otto. I've upheld my part of our bargain. Now I need you to use what you've got there to assist me. The package has arrived. It truly has. As Otto now has access to the bridge and the portal that Reed Richards always used at the Baxter building. Then we see Fisk, and he's got the purple man trapped. Let me out. Damn you all, let me out. Leave us be, gentlemen. But sir, that will be all. As Fisk sends out his handlers. Fisk, I should have known. Pulling me out of prison. My lawyer's gonna have a field day with Zebediah. Do you know what this is? It's power. It's a common misconception. But my ascension was never about my fists, my strength of body. It was about knowing things, having people bring me secrets. Over the past decade, I've amassed files on anyone who mattered, friends and rivals, from those at the top to the young scrappers who dared flex. Secret identities, forbidden trysts, cover-ups, and loved ones. And now I'm using them all, practically giving them away, because I'm in my end game. The funny thing about your file, Zebediah, is that there's nothing in it to use against you. Your children want you dead. You have no loved ones. You have nothing. Screw you, Fisk. I don't need anyone. Everyone does what I want. Open this thing up and I'll show you. Fisk does it. He opens it. There we go. Now do me a favor, big boy, and kill your Fisk grabs him by the neck. Now, Zebediah, you know your mind control doesn't work on me. My will is too strong. But it does work on others, doesn't it? His Fisk has a knife out. What a gift. And it gets to cutting. What a squandered gift. Perhaps it's time someone more worthy possessed it for a better world. Fisk for president, as we see flyers at the table of the Stromwin brother and sister that we saw earlier. And that's the end of issue number 1, ladies and gentlemen. Devil's Reign. We see the introduction of the Powers Act. So how are they gonna get through with this? And keep it locked. Comics Icon will bring you issue number 2 later on this week. But yeah, this is a super dope story, an iconic story, ladies and gentlemen. It means a lot for the Marvel Universe going forward. So I can't wait to see how it ends. So please, if you like what you heard, help a brother out and drop a like, share, and subscribe to Comics Icons for more. icons in the comic book world. What's up, everybody, and welcome to Comics Icons. Now, JJ, what they call me, and if you clicked on this episode, you're here for Devil's Reign, one of Marvel's more iconic storylines. So, in the previous episode, number 1, we saw the formation of a new Thunderbolts team by Wilson Fisk, Mayor Wilson Fisk, that is, who's been pretty busy. We saw him have the Purple Man pulled out of jail and locked up in his own little basement. And we did see him get to slicing into the Purple Man at the end of the last issue. One thing we know is that he wants to use his power for something. We also saw Tony Stark, who came with the idea to run for mayor against Wilson Fisk in the upcoming election. And we also saw a bunch of our heroes get locked up. They've become outlaws. So, ladies and gentlemen, if y'all ready to continue this super dope storyline, let's get it. So when issue 2 picks up, we see Danny Rand at the Rand Corporation. And he's on a phone call talking to Luke Cage, who we saw at the end of the last issue leaving town with his wife Jessica and his daughter Danny and linking up with Tony Stark, who, as I mentioned in the opener, decides he wants to run for mayor against Fisk. So, on the call, Danny says to Luke Cage, "I'm not Iron Fist anymore, Luke. I appreciate you thinking of me, but you're the one I'm worried about. I saw the video of you going around. You basically painted a target on your chin." "Yeah, well, that's why. We're off to see Steve and the rest. Strength in numbers, Danny. Once an Avenger," as Danny finishes his sentence, "always an Avenger. I'll be just fine, man. I might just drive north and lay low just in case." And just then, somebody busts through the door and it's Crossbones with some Thunderbolts officers. "Daniel Rand, hands where we can see them. Or not, so we can have some fun." "Sheriff Crossbones," says Danny. "That makes this decision easy." Then, with Luke still on the phone, "Danny, damn it, Danny, what's happening?" "I said hands where..." And before he finishes that, Danny drop kicks a couple of the officers while Luke's still on the phone hearing what's going on, and now Jessica's involved in herself. "Luke, what's going on? Is Danny okay?" "I don't know. Can we get to him? Or..." And Tony chimes in. "He's 30 blocks away and we don't have a Quinjet. My brownstone locked down with all of my armors as soon as government officials tried to get in. If we're gonna help Danny and the city, we need to rendezvous with Steve and the rest." Then we get Mayor Fisk in his office as someone creeps in and we see that it's Elektra. "What are you doing, Wilson?" "Of course. No matter the security, nothing quite works against Ninja, was it? Isn't that the background of Miss Elektra Nachos? The current fool dressed as Daredevil? You know none of this will stand, Fisk. This desperate play. The people you're up against have the powers of gods. And if they attack the mayor, then the true power, the people will remember. I'm tired of all of you. Your ridiculous costumes, thinking because you have freakish lives, resulting in freakish powers, that you can do whatever you wish." Then Elektra pulls out her side. "Ah, so this is why you've come. You're a killer. You could solve all of this, except you've neutered yourself, haven't you? You're playing a long game with the real Daredevil, which means no killing. I, however, am the opposite of neutered. I'm virile, eager to unleash decades of power. See, I've spent a fortune amassing information on friends, on enemies, their weaknesses, their dalliances, and it's just the beginning. Your file I gave away to an eager recipient." And then we see in his cane, he's got the Purple Man's finger. That's what he was cutting off at the end of the last issue. Then he continues. "Someone who specifically asked for the challenge of the great Elektra. They had one request of me when I next saw you, because I knew you'd come. They'd like you to meet them where you first tried to recruit the original Daredevil to the Hand. Now go to them, little ninja." And now Elektra's, she's kind of got that boo-boo the fool look on her face. She's nervous now. He knows. Oh my God. He knows what I did. How I betrayed Matthew. And just then we see Typhoid Mary along with some Thunderbolts enforcers barge in. Stop her. She's going to kill the mayor. It's okay, Mary. I just asked her to leave. Then Elektra's like, if he finds out. Then she crashes through the window and jumps out of there. I'll lose everything. Then we see our group of Avengers that's been laying low. The same group that we saw go into the sewers in issue 1. And now Tony, Luke, and Jessica have all met up with them. I thought Avengers Mansion was like decommissioned, says Spider-Man. It's a space for the public now, but the sub-basement is still secretly active, says Steve to him. Gotcha. Are we gonna keep waiting for Spidey Prime to go in, or he's always late? We should get in before. Damn. And they see a group of kids. Holy sh! Is that? And they take a picture of him. Caught me, says Tony Stark. Look, I know this must be very exciting for you, but we need you to keep this on the down low, okay? Official Avengers business. I'll make it worth your while, yeah? I'll transfer $1,000 to each of you if you delete the video. How's that sound? Sounds like a freaking ripoff, man. These kids are ruthless. I like them. Dude, we could sell this video for way more. 10 suit pockets ain't as deep as they say. And how about I give you... And then Luke chimes in. How about you guys just delete the video? Holy sh... It's Cage. Yeah, it's me. And I'm telling you, if we're all together sneaking around this place, bad stuff is going down. And we're the only ones who can stop it. This city is in danger. And it's your city as much as it's ours. Do me a solid, all right? As the kids, they rock with Luke. Especially after the speech he gave the other day. Yeah, man, of course. And they delete the picture. Whatever you say. And just then, we see one of the purple children watching the whole event unfold. Then we get a shot of the Daily Bugle. And we see Ben Reilly wearing the original Spider-Man costume. As he's thinking to himself while he's overlooking the Daily Bugle. They asked for me by name. They asked for Spider-Man to come along. It can't be a coincidence that it's going down at the Bugle. That was Peter's place, not mine. Peter Parker, Ben Reilly, it doesn't matter. When people are in danger, Spider-Man runs to them. Then we see on the inside some hostages. One of them, of course, Robbie Robertson. You don't need everyone. Take me and let the rest go. Classic hero move, Robertson. But I think I'm good. Speaking of classic heroes, Spider-Man chimes in and he sees who it is. The world's greatest mimic, he thinks to himself. You ordered one? Under 30 minutes or I'm free. Then Spider-Man notices who it is. Taskmaster and Whiplash. His whips have enough electrical current to kill those people instantly. Then Taskmaster chimes in. Let's get this party started, yeah? It ain't personal, Spidey. See, the guy who hired me has a file on you, but it's incomplete, and he hates that. So my job is to find out who Spider-Man really is. He also gave me some toys. The file says, based on your comings and goings, who's ever under that mask probably works here. So I figured, draw you here for a maybe not so fair fight with some perfect hostages, and do some math to figure out who Spider-Man really is. Though I'd rather do it the old-fashioned way, by beating you to a pulp and peeling that mask off of you. Let's go. And Spider-Man thinks to himself, yeah, let's go. You can do this, Ben. Then we transition over to the prison that Reed Richards and Sue Storm are held at. It's a prison for superpowered criminals. And it's chow time. So Reed and Sue Storm are sitting down trying to have a meal while talking to each other. Any luck with your phone call? Says Reed. Lawyer's trying to get here, but it's a little tricky since we're in a private prison in the ocean. I just saw them process Iron Fist. As more heroes get brought in, hopefully that kickstarts. And then as they're rudely interrupted by a couple other cellies. Mr. Fantastic, yeah? Don't look so fantastic now. Gentlemen, my wife Sue and I are having a private conversation. Gonna be real private when she's having it by herself. And then Sue, she ain't having that. Sue's a bit of a gangster, and she takes her tray, crack, smacks him in the face with it. Son, we don't need powers. As Reed uppercuts the other guy. To be fantastic. And that's when the guards jump in. Hey, down on the ground. Now. And Reed and Sue have them a nice little moment before they pulled apart. Stay alive, okay? Always. Break it up. Then we get the City Hall sub-basement with Wilson, Fisk, and Otto overlooking Jebediah Kilgrave, the purple man who Fisk has locked up. It's the best I can do, Fisk. It was only ever a rumor that Victor Von Doom controlled the world using Jebediah Kilgrave. This device will be able to coerce people within New York, not control them. That will be enough to win the city, Otto, and I'll handle the rest. As Fisk holds up his cane with the purple man's finger, trying to coerce Otto, but Otto's already planned for that. Sorry, Wilson. I made sure I was well protected from the Purple Man influence with special neural blockers. My part of our deal is done. Then we get Kingpin, or Mayor Fisk, tomato, however you call him. But he thinks to himself, the more money a candidate spends on advertising, the more votes they get. How easily people can be controlled, manipulated. This device is no different than a flurry of ominous commercials pushing citizens to vote out of fear. I won't lose this election. I won't lose my city. The people will slog to their voting booths through streets kept safe by my thunderbolts. Then we see Elektra Nachos meeting up with the person who was looking for her, and we find out that it's Kraven. As Fisk continues to think to himself, while vigilantes are kept busy chasing after their tumbling secrets, they will all fall to a decade's worth of traps laid out for them, or scurry underground like the rats they are. Then we go back to our underground Avengers team, which I'm calling them right now to keep it brief. As Luke says to Tony, hey Tony, just a sec, Luke. Been an age since I've been in the mansion sub-basement. I almost forgot my old codes. We gotta talk about your plan. Then Daredevil, Matt Murdock chimes in to run against Fisk. And I gotta be honest, this seems a little bit jarring. Seems like they've been putting this plan together without Tony kind of behind his back, which, although it's a good plan, seems kind of low the way they came at him. But Tony chimes in. It's the cleanest way to win. What else are we gonna do? Overthrow him? It's not that. Spider-Man speaks up. We just don't think it should be you. Sorry. Then Jessica kind of chimes in, trying to cushion the blow a little bit. No offense, man, but rich dude versus rich dude doesn't seem like the best path to victory. You're a hero, Tony, says Luke Cage. But Jessica's right. Fisk will twist things, and we're worried you won't come out on top. I think I should run. Wait, what? How does that? And Captain America chimes in, and y'all know everybody rock with Captain America. They listen to what he says for the most part. Luke's the right pick, Tony. His speech the other day inspired people, and to win an election, you need to inspire. As once again Daredevil chimes in. See, I don't like how they jumping on Tony like that. One man can have this conversation, but Daredevil says you need to inspire. And Luke's the only one of us who's never worn a mask. The people trust him. I mean, I never wore a mask, but I'm not really into the inspiration business, says Jessica. I'm sorry, man. I don't want it to be me, but it makes sense. Creating these laws during an election season is dodgy at best. We can get Luke on the ticket and circumvent any impending arrest. I'm sure of it, chimes in Daredevil. And Luke tells Tony while he puts his hand on his shoulder, this ain't ego. This is about beating Fisk. We cool? Yeah, of course. I'll make sure you have all the funding you need to do this, Luke. Really appreciate it, man. Yeah, not a problem. As we kind of see that Tony definitely looks frustrated as he stays behind and the rest of the team walks out with Luke. But then we get back to the Daily Bugle and the fight that's going down with Spider-Man, with Ben Reilly's Spider-Man and Taskmaster and Whiplash. As Ben is thinking to himself in the middle of this fight, it's too much. Taskmaster is the best in the world at hand-to-hand combat, and I'm trapped, fighting inside. Need to work on Whiplash. Get him to give up his hostages. Go for his ego. Hey, Whiplash, thought you wanted to be A-list. Weird that you're cool with being the guy who watched someone kill Spider-Man. Screw you, Bug. I'm A-list all the way. As Taskmaster chimes in. You idiot. He's goading you to... And just then, he cracks Whiplash. But he feels the brunt of those electrical whips, and now he's kind of... His muscles are seizing from it. He can't really do much. Then that's when we see Taskmaster approaching with one of those power dampening collars. And Spider-Man says to him, all right, Taskmaster. Care to take this outside? Honestly. And then Taskmaster hits him with the power dampening collar, cutting off Spider-Man's powers. That's a great idea. And then he kicks Spider-Man out of the window. Oof. And now Spider-Man is falling. He's got no powers. And he doesn't know how he's gonna make it out of this. And he thinks to himself again, need to slow my fall. Powerless. This is gonna... And he whips his webs, latching onto the building. But then, dislocated. He doesn't have the strength. So the weight and the pressure of his fall dislocates his shoulder. So he can't hold on to his web, and then lands on a car. Not really sure how that didn't kill him, but hey, comics. And just then, we see all of the Thunderbolt officers got their guns on him, and they're about to take him in. Then we go back to Otto and what he's working on, as he's thinking to himself now. Fisk is a small man, thinking small. Let him torture the masked men. Let him hold on to his small amounts of power. And now he says out loud, as always, Otto Octavius understands true power. True power is the laboratory of the mad scientist Reed Richards, with his wild inventions, like an interdimensional gate. So let Fisk control a city. My plans, as ever, are superior. And that's when we see he's called in some backup. He used this interdimensional gate to bring in other versions of himself. He's got an Octa Hulk, an Octa Wolverine, and an Octa Ghost Rider. Oh, it's about to go down, ladies and gentlemen, but that's the end of the issue. I hope y'all ready for issue 3, ladies and gentlemen. This thing is up. Devil's Reign is litty. Man, ladies and gentlemen, if y'all are rocking with this, please show your boy some love and drop a like, share, and subscribe to this thing, man. For more icons in the world of comics. What's up, everybody, and welcome to Comics Icons. Now, JJ what they call me, and today we're jumping back into one of Marvel's more iconic events in Devil's Reign with issue number 3. Now, when we last left off with issue 2, we saw Luke Cage decide to throw his hat in the ring and run for mayor of New York. We also saw current mayor Wilson Fisk cut off the finger of the Purple Man in order to gain more influence. In addition, we saw Ben Reilly's Spider-Man get arrested by the Thunderbolts, and Otto Octavius use Reed Richards' interdimensional gate to summon alternate versions of himself. Man, I know, right? Crazy stuff. So if you like me are wondering how these heroes about to get up out this jam, let's get it. Now when issue number 3 picks up, we get a now imprisoned Ben Reilly's Spider-Man, who's all battered and bruised, and he's being interviewed by a couple of them popos. As one of them chimes in, "Alright, buddy, I'm only gonna ask one more time. What's your name?" And Ben's like, "Chinese Spider-Man?" And his female partner is like, "Why don't we just fingerprint him?" And he replies, "Cuz some of these bleeding hearts here think this guy's a hero and won't process him. Me? I blame the media, like our ex-mayor, J. Jonah Jameson, with his pro-Spidey BS." Then he grabs Ben by his hair. "Maybe he doesn't have a real name. Maybe running around in this funny suit shooting people with sticky string is all he does. Maybe he's just a loser who thinks he can do our jobs better than we can. Some joker who doesn't have anyone to answer to, doesn't have any of our training. And that's when Ben's like, did you train as a tough guy when people can't fight back? Cause you're clearly the top of your his standard. Officer rams his head into the table. Boom. Gotta love hearing that smart mouth in court, you jerk. And just then his partner gets a call. What? We're in the middle of, wait, who? And then we see that the big man, Ben Grimm, Thing, and the Human Torch, they in there about to bless my man Spider-Man out. As Thing says to the rest of the cops, I know that a bunch of you don't agree with the garbage the mayor is handing down. I also know you still have jobs to do. But me and Matchstick here are gonna do what's right and get our friend, a guy who saved your lives over and over. So just then we get inside of the interview room with Spider-Man and those other two cops. As the female says to him, What are we gonna do? Our jobs. Let them try to. And then they see the door being seared open by Johnny Storm. Good God. Then Johnny busts through. Hey, sorry about the door. I can't turn off the fire these days. And then right after that, crash, Thing busts through the wall. And I'm sorry about the wall. We're here for a slightly annoying superhero. And Spider-Man's like, slightly? Man, I must look real rough if you're taking it that easy on me. And Ben scoops up little Spidey and they bounce on up out of there. Now Spider-Man's like, man, where now? Please go to the hospital. Cause homie beat the hell up, man, for real. But that's when they tell him, like, look, sorry, we'll fix you up. Don't worry, but we can't go to no hospitals, man. We on the lam, man. All us heroes are criminals now. That's when Johnny's like, well, almost all of us. Then we transition over to Luke Cage, who, remember, he's running for mayor now. So, now we got a little press conference lined up with some supporters and some cameramen, some news crew. As Luke Cage speaks to the audience. Wasn't an easy decision. But I look at this city, which has been saved countless times by its superheroes, by my friends, and I just can't stand by anymore while our mayor tries to punish them, tries to make you less safe, so he can keep you living in fear. That's what this is all about, making a city scared and tricking us into thinking he's the only one who can save it. Well, unlike Wilson Fisk, I have actually saved lives. And I'll save this city from the kingpin of crime. I'm Luke Cage, and I'm running to be your next mayor. And then as he steps away, the reporters are all chiming in. Mr. Cage, Mayor Fisk says that superheroes simply create supervillains. Any comment on? And then another one chimes in. With the escalation from Kamala's Law to this new Powers Act, are you not a wanted man? How can you run? And just then his lawyer steps up to the podium. Mr. Franklin Nelson, or aka Foggy Nelson as we know him, friend to Matt Murdock. I'm Franklin Nelson, Mr. Cage's lawyer, and I'm happy to answer any questions you may have about the legal situation. Meanwhile, Luke Cage, he going over to see wifey, and he talks to her. Not sure why, but that was nerve-wracking. Yeah, I'm nervous too, she tells him. It's cause neither of us can punch our way through this. Guess so. What do you say? Want to get us away from these reporters? As long as your tough guy mayor image can handle it. Always. Then she grabs him and does her little super jump thing and gets on up out of that. Meanwhile, Foggy's still dealing with the media. And with these draconian laws brought in during an election campaign, District Attorney Hochberg agrees with me that Mr. Cage and his family should be free to run in this election since this is the primary issue. Mr. Cage is fighting for the rights of everyone affected by this wild municipal overstepping by Mayor Fisk. Myself and my partner, Miss McDuffie, are representing the heroes who have been unfairly imprisoned. Mayor Fisk knows this is an unethical move. He's a convicted criminal who has been left to run free for too long, and we won't rest until that's rectified and he's behind bars once more. And then we get his partner, Miss McDuffie, who he was talking about. She's now interviewing Sue Storm, who is also in prison. And she tells Sue, "We don't have a trial date yet, but the Myrmidon is adding an assault charge to both you and your husband, Miss Storm. It's just Sue, Kirsten. And this is preposterous. Reed and I were defending ourselves." "It's clearly a vendetta," Kirsten says to her. "Getting Fisk out of the mayor's seat will go a long way to overturning this. But I'm more worried about the national sentiment. People across America generally view superheroes and supervillains as a New York problem. And polls suggest they're worried New York is gonna push them into their backyards." Sue was like, "Damn, you're right. Which will lead to a federal law. Damn it. We can't handle another Superhuman Registration Act. We need to stop this before it gets bigger." Then one of the guards comes in. "All right, time's up." "Sorry, Sue. You're being overly strict with how long." "It's okay, Kirsten. I think we're done here." As we see that Sue Storm, she crafty. I like how Sue is being portrayed here. She a badass. But she crafty. She got a little paper clip. She got her means to get on up out that jam. So then we transition over to the Purple Man, who, as we last saw, got his finger chopped off by Mayor Fisk, and he's still his prisoner. And he says to Fisk, "So this is your grand plan? Use my powers to brainwash the voters to elect you? Seems like a small move. Even for you, Wilson. Sometimes small moves win wars. This is beyond an election, Zebediah. This is about a new day, where men like me finally have the freedom to rule. And those who would stand in our way will be the scurrying criminals." Nah, this is more than that. This is about your Achilles heel. This is about Daredevil. He's got you riled up. He is a tick burrowed in, but there's something else to him. He's done something to me. I knew who he really was, but now, as Kilgrave was thinking to himself, and he says to Fisk, "It's gone, or buried in a fog deep in your head. How do you?" "I know, because I feel it too. But I feel it because it's as if I use my own power against myself." "Wait, are you telling me you did this?" "No, but it is my power. It's familiar but diluted. It's my children." "Of course." As Fisk walks away to make a phone call, Kilgrave's like, "Hey, where are you?" And we see that Fisk is calling Otto Octavius. "Fisk, I told you I'm busy." Then Fisk tells Otto, "Zebediah has children who share his powers. Theoretically, if we were to gather them, would they amplify the power of the psychoprism?" "Undoubtedly," Otto says to him. "Excellent. I need you to lock onto their power signatures and find." "Not so fast, Fisk. I'm not going to round up children. Our deal is concluded. But I am willing to update the psychoprism once you have the subjects." "Fine. I'll gather them. I hope whatever is occupying your time at Richards' lab is worth disappointing me." Then we go back to Otto and Reed Richards' lab with his Octa crew, as I like to call them. And the ghostwriter version of him is like, "Is there a problem?" "Nothing I can't handle. Fisk is obsessed, and that obsession is the perfect distraction," says Prime Otto. Then the Wolverine Otto chimes in. "When are we gonna do some proper action, Otto?" "Soon, Otto. I brought you all here because we share a dream and have suffered similar setbacks. Each of you inherited a hero from your universe, each with dreams of showing the world you could be the greatest heroes, unafraid to make the hard decisions. And in each world you were hunted and attacked and lost everything. But together, we can truly be superior. We will show everyone that the world will no longer be run by small-minded men." And then we get our underground heroes: Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, Daredevil, Matt Murdock Daredevil, She-Hulk, Captain America, Miles Morales, and Tony Stark Iron Man. As Captain America jumps in, Captain Marvel is off planet, so is Thor. "Well, even if they were here," says Miles, "what could they do? Smash the legal system with a hammer? Shouldn't we be thinking of how to legitimately stop Fisk? We'll need physical power to put off being taken in. As for legally, that's what Luke's play is about, Daredevil chimes in. Sure, but the first polls aren't looking good, says Luke. Has Fisk actually scared everyone into voting for him? And Jessica's like, it doesn't surprise me. They voted for him once. Why not again? Now She-Hulk, she's like, I mean, he does have some good points. The act is zero tolerance. It'll push villains into hiding and remove us as targets. Daredevil's like, Jen, are you seriously? What are you even saying? I don't know. Doesn't it make sense? No, it doesn't. We can't. And then that's when Jessica, she's like, wait, this is the Purple Man. Because remember, he took her mind over and had her do some crazy things, so she knows what that influence feels like. So Luke asks her, Zebediah Kilgrave, are you? I feel it. It's subtle, but I know it too well. Fisk is using the power somehow, influencing us. Well then, says Daredevil, this isn't a matter of legality or democracy anymore. He's violating an entire city. We need to take him down by any means necessary. Cap's like, I don't. We need to be certain. If we're wrong, and Daredevil's like, I know Fisk. He's doing this. We head out tonight and remove him from office. With or without you. So then we go back and we look on the street as we see a Thunderbolts patrol riding past on the street. We see the Purple Children. What makes you think they're out looking for us? If our father is behind this, you can be sure he's coming for us. We need to get him before that happens. What we need is somewhere to stay tonight. We can hunt Dad tomorrow when... Excuse me. That's when they see an old lady. Are you kids okay? Your skin. You? This horrible law. Do you need help? I can... And one of the kids uses his power. Take us to your... Actually, the older kid chimes in. We do need help. A place to stay tonight if it's all right. Of course. I just live a few blocks from here. It's not big, but... And they follow her to her home. And now the younger kid, the one that tried to use his powers on the lady, is like, Joe, what are you doing? We can just make her do what we need. And Joe's like, I know, but she asked if we needed help. We spend so much time forcing people to do things for us. We should, embrace when people want to generally help us. Nah, I don't like it. We can't leave anything to chance, especially when we're on our way to kill our father. Then we get our underground Avengers on the roof of City Hall. It's now they trying to go after Fisk after they heard all of the Kilgrave stuff. I'm not entirely sure this is the best plan, says Cap. Daredevil's like, Fisk has been spending his nights at City Hall since his penthouse and mansion were compromised. Yeah, I understand that, but after we get to Fisk, what then? And She-Hulk's like, we hold him until we can get evidence of the Purple Man's involvement. And if that doesn't work, and then Daredevil's like, if that doesn't work, we dump his ass on a deserted island where he can't do any harm. And Spider-Man's like, no, we're not just disappearing the mayor. Even if he is, kid, we're criminals now. Our entire vigilante situation is that we sometimes have to go to places where others can't. Or, wait, something's about to, and just then, boom, smash, as we see the Octo-Hulk bust through City Hall and attack the heroes. That's new, says Cap as Daredevil's pulling him up. Hold on, there's more on the... And then, he cuts Daredevil's line, and we see that it's Octo-Wolverine. Ah, excellent, a Captain America. I've killed one of those before. And then the Octo Ghost Rider got eyes for Iron Man. And here we have a true sinner, more than anyone knows. Stay away from me. I did what you asked. And then he wraps him in his flaming chains. Ah! Then as Octo-Hulk has She-Hulk slammed down while she sees Tony falling, someone else chimes in, planning a midnight visit. And we see that it's Otto Octavius, Prime Otto. To our esteemed mayor. Great minds, I suppose. I wasn't expecting company, but I'm sure at the very least, it's garnered Fisk's attention. And that's when Miles Morales tries to thwip Otto. Octavius, are you telling me you're fine taking orders from Fisk? On the contrary, I was going to steal the mayor seat out from under him, but you had to dismiss my proxy candidate, as we see Cap running over to a fallen Tony Stark, in favor of Harlem's hero. That's when we get the reveal that it was Chameleon. It was Chameleon posing as Tony Stark, who was trying to run for mayor. That's why he was looking so frustrated when they teamed up on him. So instead of running the city, I'll have to settle for saving it. Fall back, Avengers. As Cap realizes they getting their asses handed to him, Daredevil's like, no, we can't let Fisk get away. Then Miles grabs him. We're dying here. We need to regroup. Live to fight another day. Then we see Foggy Nelson going into his office. Should probably just go home to sleep, and someone else is in there. Honestly, it would have been a smart move. Who the... And just then, another figure that was hiding behind the door. He knocks the hell out of Foggy, beats him down. You and your lady lawyer are real loud, yeah? Our boss don't like that. Thinks you're better off never talking again. And that's the end of issue number 3, ladies and gentlemen. This story is lit. Hey, don't sleep on Otto Octavius. He got him a super octa crew that just beat the ass of the underground Avengers, and he had Chameleon posing as Tony Stark right there in the base of these dudes. Man, who's the real villain of Devil's Reign? Otto or Wilson? But anyway, this story has been super dope. And ladies and gentlemen, and I know we only halfway through this story, but once it's over with, I do want to get into additional older iconic storylines. You know, since this is a fairly new channel, I want to, fill it up with some good content that each and every one of y'all can get with. Some different varieties for y'all to choose from. So if y'all got some iconic storylines out there that y'all want to hear from me, by all means, hit a brother up in those comments and let me know. And if it's iconic enough, I might go ahead and rock with you and put it out there, and I'll give you a shout out on the episode. But yeah, Devil's Reign been super dope. Can't wait to bring y'all the next edition. But man, if y'all rock with the kid and y'all like what's going down, help a brother out and drop a like, share, and subscribe. What's up, everybody? And welcome to Comics Icons. Now JJ what they call me, and today we jumping back into this fire iconic story, Devil's Reign, where the heroes of the Marvel Universe become outlaws. Now, when we last left off in issue number 3, we saw Otto Octavius release his drones on the city, to so-called save it. We also saw that he had the Chameleon playing the role of Tony Stark as a mole within the Underground Avengers. He was the one that was trying to run for mayor. And then in addition to that, we also see that Kingpin Mayor Fisk found out that it was the Purple Children as the cause for his memory loss. And then last but not least, Foggy Nelson got his ass whooped. But ladies and gentlemen, y'all know what time it is. Y'all ready and hyped just like me to get into the rest of this to see how this thing goes? Let's get it. So when issue number 4 picks up, it's now 2 weeks later after all of that went down. And we see a Matt Murdock walking the streets of New York. And he's thinking to himself, maybe we went too far. Forgot that our actions have ramifications on the people we save. We turn our noses up at the laws to do it. Now we're all being punished for that. As he looks overhead and he sees all these Otto Octavius drones. And the city is under siege as a result. The laws are for all. The consequences for all. 2 weeks ago, in the middle of Fisk's war against us, he unleashed his anti-crime drones. Impenetrable, unhackable, otherworldly. They fly through the city with their damn eyes, thousands of them, hunting anyone who dares ignore Fisk's zero tolerance policies. The heroes are underground. The people cower. No freedom. No crimes. The city is afraid. But you forgot, Fisk. You forgot who I am. I am the man without fear. Then we get Mayor Fisk at a city hall office overlooking everything that's going down. As Otto Octavius comes in to join him. It's election season. Shouldn't you be out campaigning? Oh, right. Why would you need to do that? The city is crime-free. And you're using the Purple Man's powers of persuasion on it. Then he grabs a bottle of scotch and offers it to his alternate Otto. Otto, care for a scotch? I only care for a 15-year-old single malt. Oh, I know. I wouldn't subject us to anything else. Excellent. Then Kingpin chimes in. I almost admire your swing, Octavius, but it's a swing that you failed to land. If you are going to come for me, why not come for the crown? You've always been obsessed with power, Wilson. I'm happy to have you sit in a useless seat to shake hands and kiss babies, but I make the world better, safer, and I couldn't have done it without you. Richards's lab yielded marvelous things, a multiverse of help, of inventions that made my Octobots possible. And Wolverine Otto, he sniffs. Mrs. Fisk is coming. I can smell her perfume. Cheap, low class. Well, then we should go. She's the violent type, and we don't want to have to kill her. And I almost forgot why I came. I wanted to deliver the news in person, Wilson. Crime is down, which means we've arrested your criminal son. Then we transition over to the hospital where Foggy Nelson is at. Remember, he just got his ass whooped. As Matt Murdock, Daredevil, comes to visit him. Foggy, you still awake? You know I am, Matt. Your body sounds fine. Breathing is normal again. Buddy, you've been here every day for 2 weeks. It's okay. I'm gonna be fine. It's not okay. This is my fault, Foggy. If I hadn't poked Fisk, or if I had just taken him down years ago. Matt, shut up. Just shut up. My God. Do you think you're somehow the only person with free will? I chose to stand against Fisk. I put myself in harm's way. I can be a hero too, damn it. But your damn Catholic guilt just has to make it all about you, the beleaguered hero. Well, I absolve you, my son. Now, please just drop it. Fine, I'm sorry, Foggy. I know I can get up my own. Wait, someone's coming. Someone. Then he realizes who it is. It's his twin brother, Mike, who had been posing as Matt. What are you doing here, Mike? Whoa, can a guy, pretending to be his brother visit his brother's old friend? Don't. I know you're lying. Look, maybe I was hoping I'd run into you. My partner Butch, he's been arrested. I want to help you take Fisk down, man, for good. I'm worried that when Butch gets out, he's gonna, I don't know, he's changed, man. No, you're a grifter. You always have been, you always will be. This is serious. People's lives are in danger. You only ever look out for yourself. So whatever your game is, I'm not having it. Man, you don't know me. You're as sanctimonious as Matt. Hey. And that's when Foggy's partner shows up. Everything okay? Kirsten, I'm sorry you had to. It's okay. How's Foggy? He's good. All things considered, everything spiraled out of control. My friends are getting hurt. The city is, I don't know what I'm gonna do. How can I mean, she lays a big old wet one on him. I don't know, Daredevil always been a player. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. You're like a damn wounded puppy, and I just need you to know it's all gonna be okay. Then Daredevil tells her, but I need to make it okay. And I don't know how to do that without, they call it the second death in the Bible. When the murderers end up past this world, in the lake that burns with fire and sulfur. Blood is on my hands. The second death is waiting for me, Kirsten. And now I'm worried, knowing that I may as well just kill Wilson Fisk. Well, then we go back over to Wilson, and he's meeting up with his Thunderbolts crew. Bring me the children. Wesley will give you trackers to hone in on their purple energy signatures. Then U.S. agent John Walker chimes in. Yeah, of course, but what did these kids do? I've got no problem upholding the law, Mayor Fisk. I just want to make sure that's what we're doing here. And Fisk holds up that purple finger in his cane. You'll do as I say, Mr. Walker. Of course, sir. And Mary comes and talks to Wilson. You should just let me handle this. Mary, we've been over this. I'm not your porcelain doll now that we're married, Wilson. I want to fight to protect you. And you will, my dear. We'll fight together, every last one of them. Then we go back over to that Myrmidon prison where all of the supers are being held. And remember last issue when we saw Sue Storm when she was meeting up with her lawyer, she grabbed a little paper clip, told her she was crafty. So we see that she used that paper clip to pick the lock on her inhibitor collar. And now it's game time. Her invisible powers are activated and she swipes the badge off a guard that's walking past because she's invisible. He don't need to see her. And she gets up out that cage. And then she goes and frees Reed Richards. I expected you 2 hours and 17 minutes ago, considering I designed these power dampening collars for the Superhuman Registration Act with fail safes in case we need. Reed, shut up. Gladly. What's the plan, my love? The law's an ass. Time for a breakout. And as the guards are walking past, you hear something? Maybe. Oh shit. A bunch of cells just up, and just then, Moon Knight comes in and grabs him. I've lost my quiet touch in here. It's okay, Moon Knight. I'm sure we'll have opportunities to sharpen your skills again. Tony, you good to fight? It'd be easier with my armor. Stop! Hands where I can see them. And we see Tony Stark, this is where he's been at, while the Chameleon was on the outside posing as him. They got old Tony. But when have we ever done anything the easy way? Says Tony. And now, all of the powered up team, they crewed up in the prison and they wreaking havoc in this prison break. Whooping ass on all of the guards. Then we transition over to a regular jail where Butch Ferris, Kingpin's son, has been held up. So one of the guards comes and opens the door. You're free to go. And Butch tells him, happy you came to your senses. I'm an innocent businessman. Oh, you're as guilty as hell, Ferris. But we're overloaded thanks to the new anti-crime drones. Plus, you got friends in high places. As we see Kingpin sitting at the door, that's who got him out of there. Fuck off, Mr. Mayor. Butch, listen to me. It doesn't have to what? Be this way? Look, let's put it all in the open, okay? I'm your son. You think I'm mad at you like a child for abandoning me. But you didn't even know about me, and for good reason. My mom knew who you were. And that if you were a part of my life, that life would be real freaking short. Fine. Say I take you at your word. Why are you so angry? All I'm trying to do is help you. I'm not angry. I'm sickened. Everyone thinks you're doing this, the drones, but I'm the only one who sees how weak you really are. You're under the foot of that octopus, man. I'm ashamed to call you my father. To be called Kingpin after you. I can make you fall in line. I can... Butch spits in his face. I'd like to see you try, Dad. And then he walks away. Then over in another part of town, we see the young group called the Champions. And they engaged in a fight with Rhino. As Miss Marvel, one of the champions, she says, Ironheart, I've got... For the last time, Rhino says, I ain't here to fight you. And Miles Morales is like, sure thing, Officer Rhino. Then Viv, that's Vision's daughter, I predict we have 49 seconds until drones pass through here. And let's shut him down fast then, champions, says Miles. And he kicks Rhino in the face. Damn it. Then Viv sees the drones coming, maybe sooner. And Rhino's like, I'm on your side. Then why the badge? Why? And as the drones are closing in, Miles is like, oh man, we do not need this. As Rhino puts a Thunderbolts pin on all of the champions. Put them on, quick. What just happened? Nova says. The drones know not to attack anyone with the badge. It's like Wi-Fi or whatever. I told you, I wasn't here to fight. So why are you here? Miles says to him. Look, kid, you know me. I ain't a bad guy. This was a good paying lawful gig. But the mayor, he wanted me to go after some kids. Not you guys. Other kids. Kids who hadn't done anything wrong. And that ain't me. I just wanted to tell someone. One of you hero types. Wait, what kids? Says Miles. And then we get Miles back with the Underground Avengers, and he tells them all what he just saw. And Cap's like, are you sure? Yeah, Miles says. I know he might not be the brightest bulb, but I believe Rhino. This isn't a trap. Fist is going after the Purple Man's children, and apparently they're in town. Kidnap kids to what end? Roger says. Power. Right now, he's only able to subtly manipulate the population. She-Hulk says to him, if he gets the children, he wins the election in the minds of the city. Luke Cage chimes in. And then Jessica Jones jumps in. I'm sick of this. These men controlling us, making us high like rats, and now they're after children? Where are your teammates? She says to Miles. Lying low in Brooklyn. Why? Because they're drafted. We're gonna find those kids, and if Fisk or Otto or anyone gets in my way, I'm gonna end them. Then we get Wilson back at his crib with his wife, Mary. Wilson? I'm sorry about Butch. I really am. But he'll come around eventually. You'll win the election. Everything will be fine. It's not that, my love. It's... why can't I stop? Why hold on to these things that cause me nothing but pain? My hatred, my position. I'm so consumed by power and revenge, but I have you. I think about our fiery beginnings and how it gave way to something more powerful, more beautiful. I think back on the first time we made love, after battle. And now, I find I no longer need the battle to find that level of satisfaction. Oh, Wilson, I feel the same way. Even though I don't even really remember our first time. Years of treatments and trauma have robbed me of so much. But I still hold on to the feeling. I wish we both had those memories. It doesn't feel fair. I wish you could remember, he says to Mary while he's holding the cane with the purple finger. My God, Mary, I didn't mean to. The cane. No, don't be. I remember. What a gift. That power. It's remarkable. I had no idea it could do that. Neither did I. And now he's freaking out. He's getting an epiphany, and he runs off. Honey, I need air, space. The weight of years is crushing me, he thinks to himself. The weight of that hate that I so desperately need to let go of, or be consumed by, like the fire of a phoenix, so I can. And then he holds the cane up to himself. Remember. And just then it all comes down, it all comes to him and under the storm and the lightning rushing to him. And then he thinks, he remembers Matt Murdock. He remembers who Daredevil is now. Oh, it's game over now. And ladies and gentlemen, y'all know how this thing goes. That's the end of the issue. Oh, it's going down. The stakes keep going up. This Devil's Reign been super fire, ladies and gentlemen. I'm trying to tell you. But yeah, I definitely can't wait to the 5th issue, man. It's getting closer to the end and things are heating up. And also, I mentioned it in the last video. I also got a post going around, but looking for the next iconic storyline to get into after we finish Devil's Reign. And right now I'm between Time Runs Out, which is the prelude to Secret Wars. And there's the King in Black story about the god of the symbiotes, Noel. And then there's Original Sin, where the Watcher is killed and all of the secrets get let out. So which one of those stories y'all really want to get into? Y'all let me know in those comments. But man, if y'all rocking with the boy and y'all like the way it's going down, help your brother out. Drop a like, share, and subscribe to this thing, man, for more icons in the world of comics. What's up, everybody, and welcome to Comics Icons. Now, JJ, what they call me. And today, y'all know what time it is. We got more Devil's Reign. This story has been absolute fire so far. Now, if you recall, in the last issue number 4, we saw our heroes that had previously been arrested break out of the prison. Then we also saw Mayor Wilson Fisk, aka the Kingpin, send his thunderbolts out to find the children of the Purple Man so he can power his psycho prison machine to get all of the people in the city to re-elect him. And then last but not least, and we saw Kingpin use the power of the Purple Man to make himself remember the identity of Daredevil. So when the issue ended, it was only one name on his mind: Matt Murdock. So man, ladies and gentlemen, if y'all like me, y'all trying to figure out, oh, it's about to go down. Y'all know what time it is. Let's get it. So when issue number 5 picks up, man, we see Kingpin and he's only got one thing on his mind as he's thinking to himself. It all rushes back to me. Daredevil dug into my mind and stole so much. The greatest violation I've ever known. He stole my victories. He stole my memories. All so he could deny the world the fact that he was sloppy. That he was Matt Murdock. And as he says to himself over and over again, Matt Murdock, Matt Murdock, Matt Murdock. And just then we see one of his associates was talking to him. And the associate's like, sir, I said the Thunderbolts have located the Purple children, but they're in a residential building. Shall I give the go-ahead? Do it. Casualties be damned. As he's thinking to himself, Matt Murdock, I am going to kill you. Then we transition over to the apartment that the Purple children had been staying in with the old lady, the nice old lady that is seen in the alley, and offered to help him out. So she's feeding him a little breakfast, and she says to him, I'm sorry, all I have is cereal. And we see 2 of the kids over in the window looking out and seeing all of the drones, as one of them says, so what's our plan? The other one responds, I don't know. Normally we could just use our powers to get access to our dad, but they won't work on those fascist drones. As the female child says, well, we could try and make our way through the sewers. And just then there's a knock at the door. So the old lady's like, the door, should I? And we see one of the younger children is like, no, I got it. So he opens the door and we see U.S. Agent John walk at the door. Hey, sport, gonna need you kids to come with me. So that, Shorty tries to use his powers and he's like, how about you don't move a muscle? And that's when John Walker, who's already under one influence, is like, fancy powers ain't gonna save you, kid. You know what would? Rubber boots. So then Electro zaps the walls and electrocutes the kids. And we see them dragging the kids outside. Targets acquired, bringing them in. And just then, Jessica Jones and the Champion show up. Congrats. Now try that with these kids, big man. And then it's go time. We got a battle in the streets with the Thunderbolts and the Champions. As Miss Marvel says to one of them, Champions, grab the kids, get them to safety. Miles adds in, and come back. So we see Ironheart, she got one of the kids. Got one. She scoops him up and flies him off. And then we get a one-on-one with Jessica Jones and U.S. Agent, as Jessica tells him, they're kids. You Captain America can't. Fisk is gonna use them to control the city. And John Walker's like, it's U.S. Agent, sweetheart. And these kids are a danger to themselves and others, while this guy's dangerous to you. And she looks up and sees who it is, and she's like, oh, crap. And just then, Abomination jumps into the game. Oh, it's finna go down. Nah, they can't rock with him. Greetings, lawbreakers. And she's like, aren't you above all this, Abomination? And he tells her, your current mayor has information I need, little girl. And just then, one of the Thunderbolt officers snaps on a power dampening collar on Jessica Jones's neck. So now she ain't got no powers. So Abomination is like, all I have to do is uphold the law by whatever means necessary. And then he goes to punch at Jessica Jones, but Miles Morales swooped in and saved her, snatched her up. We gotta go. And she's like, no, we can't leave. And he's like, Jess, that's the Abomination. we'll save the rest of the kids, but we can't do it if we did. So now they all bouncing. They don't want no smoke with Abomination. Ain't no hoax on their squad. So then we transition over to Kingpin's son, Butch Ferris, and his office as he's meeting up with some fellas. And Mike Murdock, the brother of Matt Murdock, jumps in. Remember, Mike Murdock had been posing as his blind brother, Matt Murdock, aka the Daredevil. So when Mike comes in to see his boy, he hears Butch finishing up on his meeting. He overhears Butch say, possibility of a restaurant. It's where he's most likely to. And Mike interrupts him. Butch, what's... Then Butch notices he's there. Mike, just doing some planning. We'll pick this up in an hour or so, guys. As his associates leave the office. And Mike's like, wait, are you planning to hit the damn mayor? Then Butch is like, our revenues dropped 80% since he sent them damn cop drones out. So yeah, I guess so. It wasn't supposed to be like this, Butch. We were supposed to be different, bloodless. I know your dad pissed you off, but listen, Mike, this isn't personal. There's too much riding on my actions now that I'm the kingpin. Us keeping our hands clean, that was a fairy tale. You don't want to be a part of this? Fine. And Mike's like, man, what if I told you I had a way to set things right? What are you talking about? Damn, man, I don't even know how to say this. And he tells him, I'm not real. It's a long story, but I have a stone, some kind of magic. And Butch interrupts him. Oh, what the hell are you going on about? Not real? A magic stone? He's like, yeah, it's called the Norn Stone. I hid it in my brother's place. It still has some power in it, and I've been sitting on it, like an insurance policy. But it's tricky. We'll need like a manual or something. Maybe I can figure out how to use it. And if you're curious about this stone and Mike's son talking about how he's not real, check out volume 6 of Daredevil, annual number 1. But then Butch is like, hell, Mike, this is the exact crap I'm angry at my dad about. All this superhero nonsense. I'm not gonna fly around with some magic stone, wearing a damn costume or whatever. You never took this seriously. You never take anything seriously. I'm gonna go run a damn business. Go play with your stones. But Butch, I can save you. I know I can. Then we transition over to a lab and we got Kingpin and Otto Octavius and Octa-Hulk. And we see that Kingpin's still thinking about Matt Murdock. It's on his mind. As Otto is telling him, it's done. The children have been drained of their power. You remember, he got all the kids now since they only got one. Since the champions was only able to save one before they got up out that jam. So they got the rest of the kids and they're using them to power this prism. So Otto's like, it's done. The children have been drained of their power. That should be enough to control the voters and win you your worthless election. Zebediah is supercharged, and I've outfitted him with a control collar so he doesn't get out of hand. Then Fist tells him, I no longer care about the election. Oh, really? Then what's your grand plan, Wilson? Even with Zebediah in your control, you still can't get past my neural blockers. And then Fist holds up that cane with the purple finger in it, and he says, you know why that perpetual joke Spider-Man keeps defeating you, Otto? You're short-term. You can't think beyond yourself, or yourselves. Then he uses that power when he talks to Octa-Hulk. Escort our unwanted Otto out, please. Now Otto's like, what? Of course, Octa-Hulk says to him. He got him under his control now. And then he grabs Otto Octavius and jumps out the building onto the street. And now we see Kingpin is letting Kilgrave out of his cell. What are you? It's over, Zebediah. I'm going to go kill him now. But I want him to know, I want everyone to know that what happens next is his fault for all his crimes. Then he uses the power and tells him, kill them, Kilgrave. Burn the city down if you have to. Kill every hero that ever dared try to stop us from achieving our true potential. Kill them all. As we see a supercharged Kilgrave go out and hit the streets. Now we go over back to our underground Avengers as they're trying to figure this thing out. As Luke Cage comes in, where is she? And Miles is like, well, we're fine. Couple scrapes, that's all. Then Jess tells him, it's okay, Luke. It's mostly my ego that's bruised. Abomination is on their side now. And Luke's like, shit, it's too dangerous out there. How's the Kilgrave situation going? Then Spider-Man tells him, I'm no Tony Stark, but I think we've got this replicator working. You say these purple man neural disruptors came from Emma Frost? Do we trust them to work? I mean, the X-Men are a little... And Luke interrupts him. They work. We've used them before. So now Daredevil's talking to Luke Cage, and he's like, how'd the campaign stop go? Honestly, rough. We need to get rid of Fisk's Purple Man influence if I have any shot at becoming the next mayor. And that's when the little kid that they saved chimes in. You need to kill him. And Luke notices him, and he's like, wait, yeah, I'm one of his kids. And I'm telling you, he's evil. And the only way to stop him is to kill him. And that's when Daredevil jumps in. Man, I get it. I really do, Joseph. But we're not gonna kill him. That's what separates us from them. We help people. We save lives. Taking a life, it'll haunt you. It'll eat your soul. We'll stop your father and Fisk. And just then he gets a phone call from Kirsten McDuffie. Daredevil's like, hey, what's up? And she tells him, there's an uprising in the Myrmidon. I don't have much info, but I can only imagine our supers are involved. With Foggy laid up, I'm gonna go rope Maddie in to help with the legal fallout. And Daredevil's like, I don't think that's a great idea. And she tells him, I know he's been flaky lately, but he has to step up. We all have to. It's getting bad out here. Downtown has turned into some sort of riot. Daredevil's like, wait, what did you just say? Then we transition back over to Otto Octavius and Octo-Hulk down on the ground after they jump through the building. And we see Ghost Rider Otto and Wolverine Otto jumping down to see what's going on. What happened? Hulk Otto is like, I don't know. And Octavius is like, Fisk, he's lost it. Wait, where are you? We see his Octo crew, their eyes turn purple and they start following everybody else. And Otto looks back and he sees thunderbolts. Everybody's coming at him. As John Walker says, stand down, Octavius. You're not our target here. Then we see who the real target is. It's Cap and Daredevil, the champions, Luke Cage, the whole squad. It's game time. Avengers, assemble. And they swing into action, Spider-Man included. And he's like, sorry, Otto. As usual, you don't rate high on my list of priorities. And he's like, unless you've seen a certain Purple Man around. We love to talk to him. Then they hear the Purple Man's voice. Of course, as long as you don't mind it being a group conversation. And then we look and we see, oh man, he got the whole town under his sway. It's on now. So Cap's like, we got a problem, Luke. Luke realizes, he's like, oh my God, he's got everyone. Then we transition over to Matt Murdock's apartment. Remember, his brother, Mike Murdock, has been perpetrating as Matt Murdock, so Matt Murdock can be Daredevil full time. So Mike goes into the apartment. What the hell? And he gets on his phone. Damn it, Butch, pick up. Did you just trash my place looking for the stone? And then he looks and he finds it. He's like, phew, I don't like how this stuff's come between us, but you're my best friend. I don't want to see you make a huge mistake. Call me back, man, okay? And as he's hanging up the phone, he says to himself, all right, now to figure out how to use it for this. I bet that Doctor Strange guy has like a manual. And just then we see the dark figure of the Kingpin show up behind him, and he's still thinking to himself, Matt Murdock. And then he grabs Mike Murdock by the face. You, this is your fault. And he throws him to the ground. And Matt's like, Fisk, what? I don't know what he's planning, I swear. No more games, Daredevil. As he grabs him and he slams him into a wall. What? Not Daredevil. Pretending to be blind. Pretending to be a hero while you violated all our minds. I should have done this years ago. Then he slams him again into the wall. Drops him to the ground. No more. You hear me? And then he starts to pummel him. No more. And he beats the living crap out of Mike. Then somebody comes in the door. Stop. We see it's Kirsten McDuffie. Remember, she said she was coming to check on him. She's like, you, no more. As we see him holding the body of Mike Murdock. He beat the life out of him. Oh, man, this is lit. But y'all know what time it is. Just as it gets good, we've come to the end of the issue. Oh, my goodness. I can't wait to see the culmination in issue number 6, ladies and gentlemen. It's been going down, and it's about to get even worse. Oh, when Daredevil finds out. Ladies and gentlemen, this story has been lit-tea. I hope y'all rocking with it just like I am. And if you are, help a brother out, man. Get down there and drop a like, share, and subscribe to this thing, man, for more icons in the world of comics. What's up, everybody? And welcome to Comics Icons. Now, JJ, what they call me, And today, man, we got the finale of this Devil's Reign story with issue number 6. And ladies and gentlemen, if y'all been following along, y'all know this story has been super dope. Now, the last thing that we saw in issue number 5, man, we saw Kingpin basically use the powers of the Purple Children to supercharge Zebediah Killgrave, aka the Purple Man, then send him out to the world to take out all of the superheroes. And we see a supercharged Killgrave get control of everybody, the villains, the Thunderbolts, and the New York City public. So now they all coming after the Avengers. And then last but not least, we saw Kingpin, who recently remembered the identity of Daredevil, being Matt Murdock, go to his apartment and kill the brother of Matt Murdock, Mike Murdock, who had been portraying his twin brother, Matt. So, yeah, ladies and gentlemen, Kingpin, he thinks he's got him. He thinks he's got Daredevil dead. And, man, if y'all like me and want to see the epic conclusion of this super dope, iconic story, let's get it. So issue number 6 picks up right where issue number 5 left off, when we saw our superheroes going at it against our purple supercharged villains. And we see Captain America going up against Octo, Wolverine. Keep at him, Avengers. I can't hold all these purple power people back forever, chimes in Spider-Man. And just then, Daredevil gets a phone call in the middle of his battle. It's Kirsten McDuffie calling. Kirsten, a little busy. He's dead. Fisk murdered Matt. I just saw him in Matthew's apartment. Oh, God. Daredevil's thinking to himself, my brother, Fisk thought, Mike, no, this can't. I'll kill him. Daredevil, are you there? Run, Kirsten. Get to the DA's office. Tell him what you saw. I'll kill him. He's thinking to himself. Breaks off for the fight. He gets on up out of there. So then we go back to the fray. And we see Captain America going up against U.S. Agent. This U.S. Agent clocks him in the face with his shield. Damn it, John. This isn't you, Cap says to him. Then Luke Cage chimes in. Half these guys are being controlled. And Spider-Man notices Daredevil's gone. And he's like, where'd Hornhead run to? Man, without fear, my butt. Luke's like, it's no use. People are gonna get hurt. We need to do whatever it takes to shut the Purple Man down. Then we go back to Wilson Fisk. He just killed who he thought was Daredevil, and now he's on the run. He goes home and he sees Typhoid Mary, and she's like, it's a good thing you're home. Sounds like it's World War III down at the lab. Let's lock down and... Wilson? What the hell? Are you... It's not my blood. It's Daredevil's. It's over, Mary. The walls are closing in. What are you... We have to go. We have to fight. We have to... No. We don't need to fight. Not any longer. All we need is each other. Everything else is just noise. I was a fool. I don't need this. All I need is you. And they hop in the car. They hightailing it up out of town. Just then he sees Daredevil Electra Nachos in the middle of the road. And she lunges at him with the sign, breaks the windshield, and he crashes the car. Flips it over and he climbs out while he's pulling the sigh out of his arm. I'm gonna kill you for what you've done, Fisk. Do you hear me? Elektra yells to him. I'm going to... You're... Elektra, don't. When Fisk dies today, I'll be the last thing he sees. As we see Matt Murdock, Daredevil, show up. And now Fisk is tripping. Didn't I just kill you? And Fisk is like, you? No. Why? Why won't you die? The only way I'm going in the ground is with my hands at your throat, Fisk, Matt tells him. Then we go back over to the fray with the superheroes and the supercharged Thunderbolts and Otto Octavius and them and their crew and them. As Otto is still frustrated that the rest of his Otto team is under the influence of the Purple Man. And he's like, damn you. You're an Octavius, not a puppet of Fisk. Use your perfect mind to break free, Otto. Perfect mind like yours? And we see Iron Man comes down and he blasts Otto right through a building. And you never considered inventing armor? Then we hear somebody yell out, hang on, gang. And we see finally Finally, all of those convicts showed up. As the thing chimes in, the convict cavalry's here. And Spider-Man, just as he's getting jumped on, he's like, just in time. A little help here? Then Susan jumps in and puts everybody in the bubble. On it, I'll make sure no one gets hurt. But you've got to shut this down. And Luke Cage is like, I'm trying, while he's fighting the abomination. Then we see little Joseph, the one purple child that was with the Avengers and didn't get caught up by Fisk's gang. And he's going after his pops. He's like, get out of my way. Where's my father? Where's the Purple Man? Then back over to the Daredevil crew, and Matt is fighting off Wilson Fisk while Elektra is whooping on Typhoid Mary. And Matt's thinking to himself, he killed my brother. He killed my Michael. How can I let him live? How can... Just then Kingpin grabs him by the throat. Sloppy. My anger's making me... And Kingpin's like, I was happy. I was content. And he throws Daredevil up against the car. It's like a damn virus. Mary chimes in while she's talking to Elektra. Those damn costumes infecting your brain to ruin lives. Just burn. Mary with her parlor tricks. Don't you know? I was forged in fire, says Elektra. And you had to ruin everything, attacking my mind, my memories. I was happy. Boom. Punches the shit out of Daredevil. Daredevil's like, no, Michael, I'm sorry. Then we get back over to the Purple Man and him, his bid to take over everybody as the youngest son, Joseph, approaches. The one that got away. Where are they? Joseph says to him. Your pathetic brothers and sisters? They're dead. Dead. I have their power now, little Joseph. So you can just die too. No! Luke Cage chimes in and he runs over to save Joseph. And we get back over to Marion and Elektra and their fight. The problem with you, Mary, is that you rely too much on weapons. I am a weapon. And she kicks her in the stomach. Then we see Daredevil and Wilson Fisk, because Fisk got Daredevil on the ground. They can put me in the electric chair for all I care. If it's for killing you, I'll smile all the way to hell. And Murdoch's like, you feel it? The energy, your salvation, the word of God. Too late, Wilson. You can just... And then he grabbed the cane of Wilson Fisk that's got the power of the Purple Man in it. Step back. Wilson's like, no. So now Daredevil's got him. I want you to suffer, Wilson, for all your sins. I want you to think about the lives you've destroyed. And he uses that purple power to make him remember everything, kind of like a Ghost Rider penance stare. And it works. Wilson starts to think about it. Oh God. Done. It doesn't bother him. He's evil. So Daredevil's like, you. He has to die. And he cracks him in the face with that cane. Then we simultaneously get what's going on with Luke Cage and the Purple Kid as Luke Cage gives Joseph his inhibitor, which pretty much leaves him exposed to the power of the Purple Man. Kid, this will slow him down. Throwing away your life preserver? How brave. How stupid. Mr. Cage, kill my son. And at the same time, we got the Daredevil and Kingpin fight. He has to die. He's punching the shit out of Kingpin. He has to die because we kill monsters. We slay Goliath. Then we go back to Luke Cage and Joseph and the Purple Man. Because Joseph now, he got the inhibitor on. I'll stop you. Meanwhile, Purple Man's talking to Luke Cage since he took his neural blocker off. It's a simple order. Kill the boy. And Luke's fighting it. He's fighting and we see him reaching for Joseph, and Joseph is using all his strength. You killed them. I can't do this by myself. Meanwhile, we see Daredevil grab one of Elektra's eyes while he's thinking about his brother. Michael, I'm sorry, Mike. And he picks up the side ready to stab Kingpin and end it all when Elektra stops him. Daredevil, I won't stop you. God knows I've killed men who deserved it less. But you're not an assassin. You're not a killer in the shadows. You're an idiot who decided to wear this. who decided to be a damn symbol. The people are watching. What kind of symbol do you want to be? What kind of man do you want to be? And then at the same time, we see Luke Cage and Joseph. Remember, he took off his neuro blocker. So the Purple Man's telling him to kill his son. So he reaches out, but then he beats the power of the Purple Man and he puts his hand on Joseph's shoulders. You're not alone. Stop. Joseph gets the power and he stops the Purple Man. Then meanwhile, we see the Daredevil fight with Kingpin as Daredevil says to Elektra while he's got Kingpin on the ground. Oh God, Elektra, he killed. I know my love. And she gives him a big hug. It's over. Mary and Wilson are both down and out. Then we go back to the street with all of the heroes and the villains fight. Sue Storm's like, found these inhibiting collars in the Thunderbolts fan. Hey, they're getting away. Miss Marvel yells out as we see Octo Hulk and Octo Wolverine hightail it up out of there. And we see Taskmaster attempting to do the same. Time to cut loose, I guess. Oh, you definitely aren't going anywhere, Taskmaster. As Spider-Man swings in and cracks him in the face. Jessica, she's like, Luke, oh my God, are you? It's like, we're okay. This little man was incredibly brave. Joe. And then he sees his brothers and sisters. And he deserves a happy ending. Oh my God, the hits just keep coming. Wilson Fisk was just arrested. Daredevil got him. Wow. Looks like you're running unopposed, Mr. Mayor. Then we see just that. We see Fisk in the back of the van getting hauled off. It's one of the guards is like, this is a big deal. Arresting a sitting mayor? Honestly, I'm honored to be a part of it. Then the other guard is like, is it true? You tried to control everyone in the city just to stay mayor? Shit, if you ask me. And he pulls off his helmet. That's just small thinking. And we see that it's Butch, Kingpin's son. Butch, hold tight. We're almost there. And we see where they were taken to. They were taken to that old rich brother and sister we saw at the very beginning of the story. What is this? Oh, Wilson, quite a spot of trouble you've got yourself into. Just because you didn't come to Quinn or myself for help. Luckily, your son is smarter than his dear old dad. What is she? The Stromwinds approached me with a great deal. I can operate with total immunity in New York. And all I have to do is increase crime rates in areas they want to buy up. See? It's good to know your place in the order of things. Your son can thrive under us. And as for you, you're still fun for us, Wilson. We put you in the mayor's seat. We can clear up these pesky charges quite easily. And after that, they hold up a Fist for President poster. What do you think? I don't. And that's when Quinn is like, you'd, of course, work for us. We guide you on boring policy stuff. But make no mistake, this is the deal. You'll be president, work for Una and myself. And you're a free man. While neither of us are fans of people touching us, this feels too important, yes? It's not every day you get to pick a president. What do you say, Wilson? Shake on it? As Fitz is thinking to himself while he's looking at Butch. My life has been successes and failures. I let down my wife, Vanessa, my son, Richard, and now, to be a president running a country, how could Butch not look up to me with respect then? Running the greatest country in the world? I've made mistakes. And he reaches out to shake the hand of Quinn Stromwin. As Quinn tells him, congrats, Mr. President. Fist squeezes his hand. I won't make another. My son needs to know. As Stromwin is screaming for help, Fist is crushing his hand. And his sister is screaming for help. Help! As the guards come in, a Fisk bows to no man. Do you see, boy? Do you see that to live under the thumb of one is to live under the thumb of them all? You don't make deals with the devil when you are the devil. And then we see them team up. They both take out the guards. What are you doing? Butch yells to him. You know what I'm doing, 'cause you're doing it as well. You may call yourself Butch Ferris, but you are Fisk. You're a Fisk, son. I wasn't there for you. I can't change that. But I can
be there for you. Now, tell them all, in whispers, through the streets, you've killed me. I attacked the city, I murdered Matt Murdock, and you rose up. You took what was yours. The crown. After all these years, this is my gift to you, boy, your inheritance. A story for a king. A story to make a king bend.
As Butch realizes what he just said.
Matt Murdock? No. Oh, God. I should have listened to you. Mike, no.
Because Butch knew who he really was. He knew that it was really Mike perpetrating as his brother. So then we see a week later is Daredevil's overlooking the city. And Elektra says to him, "Are you sure about this? You ready?" "Yeah, I am. Matt Murdock is dead. The world thinks it so. I have nothing here. It's been a horrible road. Death, prison, but I'm ready. Ready to think bigger. No more street fights. No more Fisk. You wanted me to join you to start the fist, to take down the hand, and I'm ready. But I have ideas beyond that to save the world." "Finally," she says. "The fist has ceremonies, things we need to..." "I know, and I wouldn't have it any other way. Let's go save the world." And they leap up out of there. Then we see Kingpin and Mary, and they're getting up out of there as Kingpin's servant, Wesley, says to him, "Sir, it's all outfitted for your trip. I wish you wouldn't." And Kingpin's like, "Wesley, you've been invaluable. Thank you. From the bottom of my heart, I hope we cross paths again." And as they're leaving up out of there, Mary's like, "I don't like this. We could rule the city from the shadows, build an empire." "Mary, my love, to what end? The world has given me a message. They've taken everything away. And it means nothing. Because I have you." "Are you damn charmer? Where to, Captain?"
"The world's ours, Captain. Let's go find our happiness."
And that's the end of the story, ladies and gentlemen. Oh man, this Devil's Reign has been absolute fire. We saw Kingpin as the mayor and he finally got taken down, and Luke Cage is the new mayor now, so shout out to him. This has been an absolute dope storyline, ladies and gentlemen, truly iconic, and I definitely hope y'all rock with it. And stay tuned, because we got one more coming. We got the Omega issue, which is kind of like this, the fallout from Devil's Reign, so we definitely gonna get that. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I hope y'all enjoyed this super dope, iconic story. And if y'all rocking with the boy, help a brother out, man. Drop a like, share, and subscribe for more icons in the world of comics. What's up, everybody, and welcome to Comics Icons. Now, JJ, what they call me, and today we got the Omega issue of Devil's Reign. Now, in the last issue, issue number 6, we kind of seen the story come to an end. The heroes saved the day. The Purple Man has been taken out, and Fisk is on the run. So this Omega issue pretty much deals with the fallout of Devil's Reign and kind of where we stand at this particular moment. So if y'all like me and can't wait to see what happens next and what this damage has left behind, y'all know what time it is. Let's get it. So when the Omega issue picks up, we get a conversation between Daredevil and Reed Richards, as Reed is telling him, Wilson Fisk has disappeared. Facial recognition placed him and Mary docking in Lisbon, and then one more hit in Zagreb. But that's it. And based on the travel pattern, I suspect he's in Latveria. It would explain why he's hidden from our magicians and telepaths as well. Victor Von Doom would know ways around that sort of thing, I'm sorry. That's all I can do for now, Daredevil. We have to find him, Daredevil says to him. After what he's done, Wilson Fisk needs to face justice, Reed. I know this is important to you. I'll pick it up again tomorrow, but I'm sorry. I have to go. What's more important than this? The man assaulted the city. I know, but today is Matt Murdock's funeral. Then we go over to the church where the funeral proceedings are happening. My heart hurts. He's gone, and I feel it in my chest. in my bones. Matthew Murdock has died, and we're all worse for him leaving, but we're also all better for having known him. It's hard to hold on to the latter when the former sits in us today, so heavy. He would say to be happy, to understand that he's in the world beyond, freed from pain and suffering. Matt had hardships and tragedies, more than most, but he would say his faith showed him a path through all of that, to being a selfless man who helped others. If you ask me, I don't think he ever needed his faith for that. Matt Murdock was simply a good man, a fighter for others. The world was darkness for him, but he always saw the light in everyone. Goodbye, Matt. You are loved. You can rest. Then we see, outside of the funeral, Foggy Nelson is talking to J. Jonah Jameson. As J. Jonah tells him, "It was a beautiful eulogy. I was surprised you weren't the one delivering it, Mr. Nelson. Thought Murdock was your best friend." "I couldn't bring myself to. And I know Kirsten would do the best job. Thanks for coming, Mr. Jameson. I'm sure Matt would have appreciated it." "Yeah, well, even though it was a short stint, an unelected one at that, former mayors have a bond. Besides, I recorded the whole thing for my podcast. Have you subscribed? You just go to www. Then we move over to Jessica Jones, and she's talking to the DA. "Ms. Jones, I don't believe we've met. I'm Ben Hochberg, the district attorney, and I'll be working with your husband. Settling in the Gracie mansion?" Luke and I are staying in our apartment in Harlem, and you already have supervillains trying to kill you. Living in a mansion isn't gonna change much." "I suppose not. I see you still have the mayor's security, though." "Yeah, Luke didn't want them to lose their jobs just because he's bulletproof." Not sure the taxpayers will like that." "Hey, you were there for the cleanup after the Purple Man's attack, yeah? What happened to his kids? We know social services came." "Well, the 4 depowered ones were kept together with a nice foster family in Queens. Joseph, though, he's trickier. His powers have made it hard to..." "Nope, absolutely not." And we see as Luke Cage notices that Butch Ferris has showed up to the funeral. Luke's not a fan of that, as Butch says to him, "Mr. Mayor, I'm just here to pay my respects." Sure, Butch Ferris, the new kingpin of crime, wants to pay respects. And maybe show his subordinates how tough he is, walking through a sea of mourning superheroes. "I'm sorry, are you gonna assault me? I see J. Jonah Jameson here. He'd love that scoop." Then Danny Rand stops in. "Look, just get in your car and go. The mayor isn't gonna let optics stop him from turning this into 2 funerals. Mr. Rand here speaks the truth. I just wanted to... My father killed him. It was a horrible act from a horrible man, and I just wanted to... Forget it. I'm sorry." "Wait, father?" Rand replies. Then Foggy runs up and he stops Butch right before he gets into his car. "You know, don't you? It's why you came." "I do," Butch replies to him. "That's not Matt Murdock in that casket. It's Mike, his brother, my best friend." Shit. I'm sorry. Matt told me you and Mike were childhood friends." "None of this is right. Mike deserves a funeral, not this sham. People mourning his do-gooder brother who never had a moment for him. Tell me, Nelson, Mike was pretending to be Matt as a favor because the golden boy was in rehab out of town. So why isn't he here now? And why can't my men find him? This whole thing stinks. I'll keep this quiet because if Matt Murdock set Mike up, I'm going to find him. And what my father did to Mike is going to look like a scraped knee compared to what I'm going to do to him." Then he hops in his whip and pulls off. Then we get Luke and Jessica talking to each other. "Hey, honey, I don't think I'm gonna make it to the burial. I want to check something out." "Yeah, I don't think I'm going either. All of this feels wrong, and I want to go get some answers." As he looks up to the nearest rooftop and he sees both the daredevils, Matt and Elektra, watching over him from above. "All right, fun's over. We played along with your fake funeral." Then Danny chimes in. "So tell us, Matt, what's the point of this?" "Matt Murdock is dead. It's better this way for what we have to do," the real Matt chimes in. "And what exactly is that? Your brother is dead, man. It isn't fair to his friends to not get a chance to mourn him." "My brother didn't have friends. He had people he owed money to. I'll mourn him. I'll avenge him one day even. But
For now, Electra and we're going to destroy the hand.
Oh, for the hand? Seriously? What are you even doing, man? Is it ninja time again? This is serious. The hand is making moves that will ensure complete control of the world. You may be content to stop carjackings or drug deals, but this is bigger than any of that. This is Armageddon. What the beast craves. And Danny's like, can you talk some sense into them, Luke?
I get it. I really do. I only ran for mayor to stop Fisk. But now that I've won, it's a chance to think bigger, to affect some change in the city on a wider scale. But this whole Matt is dead nonsense, we're just worried. You lost your brother. Escaping into Daredevil isn't the way to deal with that.
I know, Daredevil replies. You're just looking out for me, Luke. I appreciate it. But you have to believe me. After prison, after Fisk, my mind feels clearer than it has in a long time. I have a way forward to help the most people. And, bank robbery, 2 blocks over. I don't want to cut my intervention short, but Mr. Mayor, are you too important now to stop some bad guys? As Luke Cage smirks. And they gonna get right to it. As we see those bank robbers running out of the bank. Can't believe this is working. Told you. All them heroes are off licking their wounds. It's clear sailing. Ah, shit. Bang, bang. Up. Attempted assassination of a public official? Brazen. Even for bank robbers.
Put down the guns, and we'll go easy on.
Bang, bang. Okay. The hard way then, says Electra as her and Mac jump in the fight and start whooping ass. Then we see Danny getting him a drop kick in. We can do this. Just, man. Luke knocks out the last guy.
You picked the wrong day for this nonsense.
So as it's over, we see Danny talking to Luke, and he's like, so which of us gets to drag these guys to the station? I vote for the strong one who runs the city.
Looks like we don't need to do anything just yet. This is a Thunderbolts only crime scene. Hands where I can see them.
As the Thunderbolts pull up on the heroes after the whole you dig. Daredevil's like, no, I don't think so. Then Luke chimes in, officer,
what's your issue here? We just caught bank robbers.
And the main officer takes off his helmet and he says, Mr. Mayor, if you're involved, I'll let this slide. This time, despite you being a cop hater. This time, you and your damn fascist costumes and guns are supposed to be in a dusty warehouse hundreds of miles away. Well, shit, they didn't tell you? It takes a lot more than your wishes to overturn a law that the people want. Vigilantism in New York is still illegal. I don't work for you. Let's go, boys. Someone needs to protect this city. And Danny's like, okay, that was shit. So what's the plan? Then we transition over to Jessica Jones and we see that she's going to visit Joseph. We appreciate your interest, Miss Jones, but if you wanted an official tour, I'm sure the mayor's office could arrange. I don't want a tour, and I'm not some first lady looking for a damn ceremony. Mommy, I want to go home. I know, honey. Soon. Of course. We just want you to know that if you'd like. Joe? Mommy, I want to go. For Christ's sake, you put a power collar on him? It's for my own good. His powers could have been very disruptive. We had no... Shh. Jessica rips the power collar off of him. And he tells him, I didn't do anything wrong. You never even let me. The orphanage's insurance would have been void, and... He uses his powers and tells the old lady, go for a walk. And Jessica stops him. Hey, what? She had me in a collar, like a dog. I know, but you just can't. Taking people's autonomy away, it's the worst thing you can do. Your father did it to me, and it almost destroyed my life. You've got power, Joe. People are gonna be scared of you. Don't feed into that. Don't take away people's freedom. Why not? They took away mine. Hi, says little Danny. Hi. I don't like it here. Yeah, neither do I. Then we get back over to Mayor Cage, and he's on the phone. Come on, Harris. You're my big legal brain. There's nothing I can do? I'm sorry, Mr. Mayor. I told you, it's Luke. Luke, we can draft up a repeal, but it has to go through city council, which means the councilors have to be convinced their voters won't turn on them. It's
Not gonna be easy, Mr. Luke. Okay, thanks for this. I'll see you in the office tomorrow. Not gonna be easy. Story of my damn life. Honey, we're, home? Thank God. I've had the weirdest afternoon. Yeah, same. As she shows him that she brought Joseph home. Then we get the burial of Mike Murdoch, aka Matt Murdoch, who they think it is. I'm sorry. Before we can lower it, can I have one more moment with him? Says Kristen. Of course, love. We'll be nearby. I hope I did okay, Matt. You're impossible to sum up in one single speech. I wanted to leave you with something. When he did what he did, you had this on you. I don't know what it is, but it feels like it was important to you. Maybe you even died for it. It's beautiful. There's a shimmer to it, like it's alive. I wish you could have seen it instead of just feel it. Maybe you can now. I've never been really religious, but my God, my heart is screaming to me right now, Matt. All I hear is its voice saying you'll see him again, and that I'll be able to tell you everything I've held on to for so long. Wouldn't that just be amazing? Wouldn't that just be a miracle? Then we transition further along in the story, and it's time for Mayor Cage to clean house a little bit as he's approached by Monica Rambeau. Hey, Rambeau. Mr. Mayor, what an unexpected surprise. I didn't think you had time for us little people now that you're greengrocer of the Big Apple. Yeah, I didn't want the job, but somebody had to beat Wilson Fisk at the ballot box and set things straight. Gotta love all that paperwork. Don't even start. It's awful. Anyway, I'm trying to fix things, and it would be real nice to have you in the mix. Oh? How so? What do you know about the Thunderbolts? They're Wilson Fisk's assassins and super cronies. See? That's the problem. The original Thunderbolts were Baron Zemo's masters of evil in disguise, building trust before they sprung their big trap. After that, though, a bunch of them realized they actually liked being heroes. Hawkeye tried to steer him toward redemption. A while later, I tried to do the same. Now Kingpin sprayed his stink all over the team. Under his leadership, the Thunderbolts became a completely crooked operation, killing and stealing while wielding their badge like a weapon. The point is, as he crashes through the top of the building, it ain't right. And he jumps down and starts to fight Crossbones and the rest of the Thunderbolts there. All this corruption has got to get torn out by roots. Well, looky here. Luke Cage is breaking and entering. I guess we better enforce the law, says Crossbones. He opens fire. And of course, Luke Cage is bulletproof, so they just bouncing off. Set weapons to high yield and bring him down. And Monica flies in. How about now? And she melts all of the guns. Assaulting a police officer is a serious crime, Mr. Mayor, says Crossbones. That's fine. I'm sure the court will see things my way once your performance is in the public records, Crossbones. Accepting bribes, selective enforcement, and discrimination, abuse of police procedure, public misconduct, racketeering. My new district attorney is gonna be damn busy, but it'll be worth it when all you chumps get what's coming to you. Then we go back and we see those Thunderbolts agents trying to blast Monica Rambeau, which we know that's not gonna happen. They're like, use the energy matrix to catch Spectrum before I do this, blast through all of them. Okay, I get it. You're venting your frustrations and shutting down Fisk's army of crooks. Yeah, but that's just a start. I don't want Fisk to have the last word on the Thunderbolts. Their legacy deserves something better. Great job, Mr. Mayor. What the? Hello, Miss Rambeau. I'm Helen Estrancha, a public relations specialist, and also, if you don't mind me saying, a big fan of your work. As we see now the camera crews coming in and take some pictures of what Luke Cage just did, and one of them's telling Luke Cage, turn just a bit to the left, sir. Better composition. Now Helen is talking to Monica, and she's like, while the legal issues of Wilson Fisk's tenure as mayor work themselves out, I've been tasked with reframing the Thunderbolts brand. It's not a brand, honey. It's a super team. Honestly, it's both. Marketing and communication are crucial to any successful enterprise. Mayor Cage needs to show he's making positive change, and the city needs a task force to handle extraordinary criminal activities. Legally, the Thunderbolts are already an authorized arm of the law. We intend for that to continue, only under far better leadership. Your leadership, in fact. And Monica's like, whoa. This means a lot to me, Rambo. I can't lead a team and run the city at the same time. So you're my number one pick to head up the new Thunderbolts. You'll be at the forefront, leading the charge. A literal lightning bolt for justice. Like lightning. As everybody is now, they flashing their cameras at Monica and she's like, oh, hell no. Luke, I appreciate the vote of confidence. No. I can't do that smile and wave shit. I don't have it in me anymore. You know the media is relentless nowadays. I already see how this all goes down. They'll poke and jab, and when I don't play nice, they'll fall back on the tired, angry black lady rhetoric. Sorry, Cage. I can't front this thunder circus you're whipping up. Good luck, but I'm out. Damn. We came on too strong. I'll follow up to see if she changes her mind, but unfortunately, we need to try someone else. Sam Wilson, Dane Whitman, Barbara Morse, and Janet Van Dyne are all no-goes. But what about Clint Barton? Then we go over to City Hall, and we're about to have the first press conference of Mayor Luke Cage as we get a reporter talking to the camera. Good morning. This is Helena Helens for WHRO here in Manhattan at City Hall, where in moments, newly elected Mayor Luke Cage will be giving his first press conference. The new mayor certainly has his hands full, as the current state of the city can best be described as chaotic. Many argue that much of this discourse is due to outgoing Mayor Wilson Fisk. Mayor Fisk was indeed a controversial figure during his tenure at City Hall. But that said, his sizable and vocal base remains in his corner. However, with Fisk missing and rumblings from the criminal underworld suggesting that he is deceased, it's safe to say they are a base without a leader. The larger issue plaguing the city is the tremendous spike in crime. Violent crime is at an all-time high, with no end in sight. After costume vigilantes waged war in the streets of our good city, causing massive destruction to property and a number of civilian injuries. Which brings me to the Anti-Vigilante Powers Act Mayor Fisk implemented as a deterrent to such destruction. Many citizens who want crime held in check are left wondering if it's criminals causing the most harm, or the vigilantes who destroy property in the name of justice. The city of New York and its 5 boroughs are in desperate need of leadership that will bring unity and calm to a city divided. Proponents of the law believe that the NYPD is more than equipped to handle crime in the city, both of the conventional as well as the unconventional sort. This same contingent wonders if Mayor Cage, a former vigilante crime fighter called Power Man, can be objective in regard to this subject. That said, many are hoping that Mayor Luke Cage is the right man for the job. Then we get Luke Cage kind of reminiscing over his history before he goes to the podium. Luke Cage, Mayor of New York. If somebody had told me when I was a kid running around the streets of Harlem that I'd be mayor one day, I'd have told them they were out of their mind. The world was so simple back then. Something popped off, the community got it in check. We're a long way from that time. For some reason, I always felt like the world outside my bubble would one day come calling. And oh, was I right. My time with the Rivals felt like a big dysfunctional family, but family nonetheless. Little did I know that real dysfunction was right around the corner. Boot camp for me was throwing hands with the cats that were preying on Harlem's pain. What started in Harlem spread out to the world. I found a partner and friend in Danny Rand, aka Iron Fist, and a few more with the Defenders. And I found love. But this here is different. Ain't jumping off buildings and cracking heads. I'm a part of the system now. And just then somebody walks into the door. 5 minutes, Mayor Cage. I'm ready. Now, just want to prepare you for what's coming, Mr. Mayor. Half of the press are fans of former Mayor Fisk. The other half is willing to give you a shot, but you're gonna have to prove your worth. Been doing that all my life. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Mayor Cage. Good morning. Please be seated. Before we get to the questions, I wanted to address some of the elephants in the room. I know many of you doubt my ability to govern this city. Some may point to my checkered history as a teen delinquent. Others may look to my work as what many in the media refer to as a vigilante. Whichever side you fall on, I say this. It doesn't matter what you think. I'm gonna work my ass off, and alongside the citizens and lawmakers of New York, fix this city that I love with all my heart. I will be fair. I will be objective. But right now, my focus is restoring order and bringing safety to our streets. Folks are afraid, and I'm gonna ease those fears with action. That's it. Any questions? Then we get him sitting in his office, his feet kicked up after a successful press conference. As he thinks to himself, that went better than expected. But who am I fooling? This city is under siege, and it's polarized politically. No way I can fix things solely from the inside. The city is building a new future, and the new Thunderbolts are a good start. They can work inside the system. But fist rot runs deep. I need folks committed to keeping us honest, working from the outside as we turn the city around. And finally, set things right. As he hears 5-0 in the background, wee-oo. He gets ready to leap into action, and ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of Devil's Reign. Man, this has been an absolute phenomenal series. I hope y'all enjoyed this, man. We saw it all from the superheroes becoming convicts and getting locked up and having to start a prison break, to fighting a mayor and a whole city of Purple Man controlled people. And it's had a little bit of everything in it, man. I hope you guys enjoyed the ride just as much as I did. And definitely can't wait to see what happens next for our heroes and our mayor, the new mayor, Luke Cage, mayor of New York. I think this was a big glow up for Luke Cage. He got a lot of shine in this series. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, hop in those comments and tell me what y'all thought about this ongoing series, man. This has been absolutely phenomenal in my opinion. But y'all know what time it is. If y'all rocking with the band, if y'all rocking with the boy, do me a favor, help a brother out. And drop a like, share, and subscribe to this thing, man, for more icons in the comic book world. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm out. Peace.